and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer. Charles, let's begin with you. To whom was he speaking today, and was it effective?
I thought it was a political speech addressed to his constituency on the left, which I thought was unfortunate, even though it sounded like a philosophical speech addressed to the whole nation. Look, I gave him and Holder credit all week for trying to de-racialize the issue. And what Obama did, I think, unfortunately, today, is to re-racialize it. The first statement he issued after the verdict, on Saturday, I think it was to talk about the jury's, we have to honor what the jury had decided. And then he spoke about, helping our communities, thinking about our neighbors, and gun control. But it wasn't about race. And as we know from the trial, race was not an issue in the trial. The prosecution didn't speak of race. The jury said it wasn't an issue. Well, the FBI investigation didn't find any hint of racism in Zimmerman, but Obama re-injected it. Now, to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not sure why I still do, 3 days in a row, I probably ought to consult a physician by now. I think the main the message of the speech was what he buried, which was they are not going to continue, they're not going to pursue a federal prosecution. He knows, Holder knows, there is no case for a hate crime. But he buried it. It was a throwaway line. And the rest, all the racial stuff, and the sympathy he expressed for all those who were upset, I think was the rhetorical fog, or if you like, a compensation for the fact that they are not going to get the demand that you're going to hear in the demonstrations tomorrow for a federal charge against Zimmerman. So I think it was a balancing act as a way to mitigate the fact that they are not going to pursue an unwinnable prosecution of Zimmerman.
Today he was trying to educate and enlighten. Did he do that?
I disagree. I think it was a mistake what he said before the trial, at the time of the event, when he said he would have looked like me, implying it's about skin color and race. But it was understandable because given the history of the country and the facts were unclear, it could be assumed that it might have been a racial killing. After the trial, when we know there was no element of that claimed by any side in the trial, so we knew as a fact it was not about race, he now returns and again says it's about race. I disagree with Steve. I don't think that's enlightening. I think he didn't have to come out there and say anything. He issued a statement. Holder's talked about this. But I think he legitimized the protests tomorrow, which are all going to be assuming it was about race, when in fact he should have said the facts are it was not. We have racial issues in the country, but it's not what the case here was about.
To the point of timing then, it happens on a Friday afternoon at the close of business for the week, and there are said to be 100 rallies planned in 100 American cities. We don't know how many rallies there will be or how many people will turn out. Was it important for him to talk today?
I think it was important for him to talk today. I think one of the things that people have to remember is, look, he is the first black American president, and he does face a lot of pressure from the African American community, which voted for him overwhelmingly, supports him overwhelmingly, to give a voice to their experiences. And I think that this is what he was trying to do today ahead of these rallies.
In a moment here, the Friday Lightning Round, we've got 3 topics on deck, and they are hot. Back in a moment with this.
Hey, Linda. What are you guys doing? Having some fiber with new Philips Fiber.